Bacon lovers, you are going to love today's recipe. I'm showing you how to make the easiest and the best corn chowder in the crock pot. Hi, my name is Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to my kitchen. If you haven't been to my new kitchen yet, welcome. I just recently moved, same town, just new house. So welcome. I'm glad you guys can join us. My sister Carrie and I are on a mission to help real families eat at home on a budget. It's healthier, it's delicious, and it's awesome. And the easiest way to do that is crock pot cooking. And if you guys are watching us, you probably already love the crock pot as well. Today, I'm going to show you how to make crock pot corn chowder. I have linked the recipe in the description below, so you don't have to write down all the ingredients during my video today. We've done it all for you, and it has nutritional information and lots of tips and tricks that you don't want to miss out. So make sure you check that out. I will also link below our digital crock pot cookbook. So if you love crock pot cooking as much as we do, check that out. It's over 50 of our favorite crock pot recipes that are all easy and delicious. So first, let's talk about the crock pot that I'm using today. I am using a Hamilton Beach multi-cooker. It is great, guys. I will link it in the description below. The difference between a multi-cooker and a crock pot is that it can do other features as well, like brown, saute, steam, all the things. This is a great brand at a great price point, so check it out. I will also link a post with all of our favorite crock pots at different price points. So if you don't like this one, I'm sure there's another one that you will like. So for today's recipe, we are making crock pot corn chowder. And the first thing what we need is corn, of course. I like using canned corn for this recipe. You'd need 2 cans of corn. The first one is whole kernel corn drained. I drained off the excess liquid so it doesn't make it too watery for us. We're gonna dump that right into the crock pot, and then you need 1 can of cream corn, 15 ounces as well. Don't worry about draining this one. It's kind of creamed together, so it's all one thing, so you don't have to worry about it. Dump that right into your crock pot. Now, if you don't like canned corn, you can use frozen for the whole, and you probably could make your own cream corn, but I haven't tried that yet. So next, we are gonna add some bacon. The bacon in this corn chowder really elevates it, so that's what makes it so good, so don't skip it. For this recipe, you want 6 slices cooked bacon, and you want to crumble it up. So I'm going to dice it up. Now, as you can tell, I only have 5, and that's because I was getting ready for this video and my husband walked in and ate a piece of bacon. Like there's lights, there's everything, and he ate a piece of bacon. So for our chowder, we're just going to have 5, but when you make it at home, put in 6. You're going to need it. We're going to chop this bacon up. Now, I use like pre-cooked bacon that I could just cook in the microwave just for a time-saving tip, but you use whatever bacon you like, whatever you usually get. If you want to fry some up in the skillet, you can. I just like it crispy, and that's why we pre-cook it, because it won't get crispy in the crock pot raw. It'll be kind of like chewy and rubbery. So we do pre-cook it, and we're just going to chop it up. You want it nice and crispy, and then it's super easy to chop. Once it's all chopped up and crumbled, just add that right to the crock pot with your corn. Now let's add some potatoes. For this chowder, we like to use 2 russet potatoes. Now mine were kind of smaller, so I'm gonna go ahead and do like this medium-sized one and 2 of these smaller ones, and I think that'll be great. We're gonna peel and dice these into kind of small pieces so that it cooks nice and soft in the crock pot. They're all peeled. Now we're gonna dice them up. So you want them to be small pieces because it's a soup or stew. What I'm gonna do is slice it lengthwise into thirds here, and then dice each one of those, hopefully you guys can see that, into small pieces as well. So I'm gonna slice them in half and then just go along and turn it and slice it into bite-sized pieces here and dump it right into the crock pot. So when I have a corn chowder, I like to be able to see my potatoes, make them like whole. That's just my preference. Some people like the potatoes to cook down into the sauce. So you just got to think about how you like your chowder. If you want them to cook down into the sauce, still dice them up. Sorry. Still dice them up into small pieces, and we're just going to cook it a little bit longer, and it'll cook down into the sauce for you. All right, I'm going to get the rest of these diced up and added to the crock pot. Get the last one added, and then we're gonna get an onion ready. You gotta have some onion. You can't have a good chowder or soup without onion. We're going to use half a white diced onion. Now you can use a yellow if you prefer. I already had this in my veggie drawer, so that's why I'm using it. If you're starting with the whole one, just cut off the edges, peel the sides, and cut it in half. And then we're gonna get this diced up. Now, if you haven't diced an onion before, we have a whole video on it. You just wanna cut it and do it flat side down on your cutting board. Slice it lengthways, but not all the way through. So don't cut over here so that it stays together. And then we're gonna turn it and slice it the other way to get beautiful diced onions. My sister Carrie just got this really cool veggie chopper. That would work great as well. If you've been following our channel for a while, you've probably seen this veggie chopper. And you're probably like me and you know you need it and you just haven't bought it yet. So it's on my short list to add to my kitchen supplies because I chop a lot of veggies and it saves a lot of time. Okay. So these are nice and chopped. Again, you want them to be smaller pieces because this is going in like a soup or chowder. So you don't want like a large piece of onion on your spoon. So we're gonna do it nice smaller pieces and dump that in your crock pot as well. Now it's time to add the seasonings. First, we're gonna start with some minced garlic. We use the pre-jarred minced garlic. You need about a tablespoon, I believe. Let me double check that. Yep, a tablespoon right into the crock pot. Now like I said, we love buying the pre-minced. You can mince up your own as well. It's completely up to you. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. Salt. I was already singing my Thyme song because next up is thyme. Thyme is on my side. Hope I don't get in trouble. We need a half a teaspoon of dried thyme leaves. This adds a ton of flavor, so don't skip it if you don't like it. I think you could probably do oregano or like Italian seasoning, and that would be delicious as well. And then last but not least, 1 bay leaf. We will remove this before we serve it, but we're gonna put it in at the beginning to add a ton of flavor to our chowder. And last but not least, we are going to add some chicken broth. You need 4 cups chicken broth. You can use one of these 32-ounce containers, and that's the equivalent to 4 cups. Now, if you can use bouillon cubes with water. You could probably do half chicken broth or half water if you're trying to save money. That will work as well. A lot of times on our recipes, we will say, hey, use water, it's fine. But on our soups and chowders and stews, we do like broth or bouillon cubes because that adds a ton of flavor. So use one of those. All right, chicken broth is added. Now cover your crock pot with the lid, and you can cook this on high or low. You're just wanting to cook it until those potatoes are tender and cooked through. That's the longest cook time item in here. I recommend cooking it on low for about 4 to 6 hours or on high for about half the time, so 2 to 3 hours. And you're really just wanting to cook it until the potatoes are the consistency that you like. Like I want my potatoes soft, but I don't want them like falling apart into the chowder. So I'm going to start with about 4.5 hours on low, and then I'm going to check it from there. Let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, I will see you in a couple of hours. All right, it's been cooking a while and the potatoes are nice and tender, just like I like them. Now it's time to add the cream and to thicken it up so it's like a chowder. You want it to be a little thicker. And chowders are generally cream-based, so for this recipe, we add 1 cup heavy whipping cream. So what we do to thicken is we like to thicken with cornstarch, but you don't want to just throw cornstarch into a hot mixture or it's just going to clump and be a yuck, yuck, yuck. So first we're going to dissolve the cornstarch in the heavy whipping cream, and then we will pour it into the crock pot. So to thicken this, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm going to mix that right into the 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream. Now you could mix it with cold water, but we don't want it to get too liquidy, so that's why I just like to dissolve it in something we're already adding to the meal. So if you have a small whisk, that's ideal. My whisk is kind of big and didn't fit in here, so I'm just using a little fork. I think a whisk would be better, but honestly, this is working just fine. So once it gets all dissolved, you can go ahead and get this poured into the crock pot. Almost forgot, we have to remove that bay leaf. So before you add anything else to the crock pot, go ahead and track down that bay leaf and get it removed. I love the steam out of the crock pot. That smells good. That's how you know it's good. Luckily, that bay leaf is floating right here at the top and I can see him. Grab it, remove it from the crock pot, and we're going to discard that. And then we are going to stir in that heavy whipped cream and cornstarch mixture. Go ahead and cover it and cook it on low for like maybe 30 minutes, or you can kick it over to high and cook it on high for like 10-15, just until the heavy whipping cream is heated through and the chowder is slightly thickened. All right, I'm gonna get this lid back on and I'll see you soon. So it's just been heating for probably 20 minutes, honestly, and it's already thickened and perfect. I'm gonna show you guys up close so you know that what you're looking for when you're making this at home. That cornstarch will thicken very quick, so just watch it closely. You can see how it's a nice, thick chowder consistency. And see the potatoes, I love how they're still whole, but you can tell that they're gonna be nice and soft. The only thing left to do is serve it up. Now, this is a hearty soup. Since it has the cream in there, the potatoes, the bacon, I find it to be very filling. It's warm. So when I do soups, I usually just do like a simple side salad to keep it healthy as the best sides. But it would also be good with bread or cornbread, whatever you like to serve with your chowder. So when I make mine, I always save a little bit of extra bacon because everybody loves more bacon the better, right? And just top it on top when I'm serving it to add a little something extra. And then it's ready to enjoy. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in my kitchen. If you guys make this recipe, please go to our website and leave us a review. We love hearing what you guys think and we love hearing from you. It's just at the bottom of our post on Crock Pot Corn Chowder. If you have trouble finding it, just Google Eating on a Dime Crock Pot Corn Chowder and it'll pull right up. Don't forget, I've linked this recipe in the description below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our easy, family-friendly recipes. All right, friends, I'm hungry, so I gotta go. I will see you next time in my kitchen. Bye, friends.